Hi, it's Brendan here from Watto Training, and we've got this little Mitsubishi 6-speed flatbed fighter, 2007 model, and I'm just going to take you through the pre-drive checks in it that you would cover off with a student. First of all, just as we approach the vehicle, we can see here that the height of the vehicle is 3.3 meters. We can also see that we've got the mechanisms for controlling the windows, and window lock, and also the key lock as well. Then we move to the vehicle. I've already been through 3 points of contact with those two handles there that you can see on another video, and I've also been through seat setup in another video as well. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to look up here on top of the steering wheel, and we can see the horn, which you would use in case of an emergency. Also here we've got the ignition where the key goes. It's currently locked, and we've got accessories on, and then we've got the point where you kick it over on the right. When you want to actually get the key out of these vehicles, you've got to push that little black button in just there that I'm pointing to. Okay, down below I also showed another video where the lever is to move the steering wheel column as well. It goes in and out, forward and back. We can see as well here there's some vents when it's a warm day. These are mirror controls, but I think because this is a training vehicle, the mirrors have been bashed around a little bit in their time, so I think they're mainly controlled by manual, but it's a little bit faded, but that's a little up, down, left and right, and this is a selector here as well for the tilt. Okay, and then we're going to get up. It's using my 3 points of contact to get in, and we've got our stalk here to control our lights, park lights, headlights, high beam, and on this side we've got our exhaust brake, which is on at the moment, off is back. We've also got washers, wipers, intermittent, low and high. Then we've got our gauges, fuel temperature, speedo, tacho, and we've got our pressure as well, our air pressure. Over here we've got the radio. Radio's not relevant for training purposes. We've got our air controls, which vent the air blows out. There's the demister. This is the on-off for the aircon. This is the fan speed. This is if we want the air recirculated in the vehicle. This little blue through to red is cool through to warm. That's also relevant for air control. We've got our pedals, same as a manual vehicle. However, you wouldn't operate them identical. You would make sure that you've got very smooth braking on air brakes, otherwise you'll put yourself through the windscreen. And also you can see that divot there where the heel's been sitting, so you sit the heel of your right foot for the braking and the accelerator. They're actually quite close together. I'll just show you with my foot what I mean. I'll just see if I can get my foot in and show you. So there's my foot, which is size 14, and these are quite close together, so you just got to make sure that your students don't clip one or the other. It has happened to me for sure. And this is the clutch here and the footrest on the left. With this clutch, it's quite heavy. Some people who do a lot of hours of training actually get, if they're not in great shape, they get a sore left leg. Okay, and also got to make sure, I actually like this squeaky clutch, because as a trainer, when I'm sitting over on the left, I can hear it, and I can actually hear if they're coming off the clutch or not. Okay, over here we've got the hazard lights. They would come on an emergency. You can also put those on when you're reversing as well if you wish, but they're not mandatory. There's a cigarette lighter. We don't do any smoking during training. Here we've got our gear stick. One would be for loaded up a steep hill. If the vehicle's unloaded on level ground or downhill, 2 will be sufficient for a takeoff. We've got third gear here as well. I like to take a lot of my corners in third gear, and I want to be below 20 k's an hour before going into third. We've got fourth gear. I like to use fourth gear in 40 zones. Fifth gear is good for 50, say 60 zones. And definitely once you get 80 plus, you'd be up in sixth gear. Reverses over here. Now, in terms of the way the gears are laid out, at rest, there's 4 and 5 going back and forth. So that's, if you just push the stick forward, it's going to go into 4. If you just pull it back, it's going to go into 5. So if you want to find second, you actually need to put that pressure one movement to the left and forward into second. Now I've seen some people grab the stick like this to go to 2 to 3, and it ends up in 5. They wonder what's happened. So we want to go from 2, keep the pressure on, and go into 3rd gear there. Also, when you want to go to reverse, so that's our position forward for 2nd, but you need just a little bit more elbow grease to pop it forward to go up into reverse. Now, if we just take a moment to click it over, there's a buzzer in the truck and at the back as well, so that you will definitely know that you're in reverse, and then that can be quickly corrected. You get some people who are anxious and they tense up their wrist and they push it through to reverse instead of 2nd, just because they're trying too hard, which is a normal thing that learners do. Okay, down here we've got the handbrake, it's on at the moment. Just to give you an example of how that works, we have to lift this little safety latch up here, all the way down to the ground, and back up again. The vehicle's not running at the moment, just so there's not too much noise or anything, so, but that's, okay, that covers that off. Then we've got our little latch for our seatbelt. Then we've got a little console here where you can put things in this area here, but that does fold back into a seat as well. We've also got a vent here. You would also make sure that those mirrors are set up over the other side appropriately, and look at that one at the top there, really great for trainers as well, to keep an eye on that top left mirror. Here's all of our interior lights as well. There's the controls, and here's our lights. You can see that one's on at the moment because I've got the door open. That's probably all you really need to cover off on to start with. I normally try not to overload the students too much too early, because they take in so much information, and also it's just the whole new learning experience that we've just got to make sure that we just graduate our we feed our information out as we go. Okay, so that's covering off very briefly on the pre-drive checks. I've actually got a lot of notes as well on that in detail, delivered as a lesson plan. But today I just wanted to give you an introduction to this vehicle. If you come through Watto Training and you're assessed in the medium rigid, at least you know what to expect if you're going to be in this particular vehicle. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, please go to the Watto Training YouTube page for more information.